creeps, today's the day we feast on the bewildering, the frightening, the mysterious of All Hallows Eve. It's been far too long since I did a Halloween video since I missed out last year, thanks to having a day job. I started October in costume, so let's wrap it up in another. I'm here to celebrate with a very coincidentally themed set of bots for this horrific day of fear. The Transformers Legacy United Cliffjumper vs. Tarantulas, Squeezeplay, and Tarn 4-pack is another in a lineage of 4-packs dating as far back as 2021 with Worlds Collide and buzzworthy Bumblebee. Time for Cliffjumper to get his sweet revenge on Hasbro for killing him in two major continuities, which I think is well deserved. He better not die in Transformers 2. This 4-pack and I have a rocky relationship. At first I was hesitant because I only wanted Cliffjumper from the set, but I said fuck it, and lo and behold, here we are a month later. This pack comprises of Prime Cliffjumper, Prototype Tarantulas, G1 Squeezeplay, and Cyberverse Tarn. Let's spin a wheel to see who's first. If you recall in the 2022 special, I said this about Tarantulas. So how come I'm not reviewing something scary like Tarantulas and Black Arachnophobic? It's because I don't have Tarantulas, and I did see them at Target like a while ago, but instead I chose to buy Darker Than Bumblebee because I personally love Darker Than a little bit more than Beast Wars. And that might be like a hot take, I guess, but it's the truth. That's what happens when you grow up with the Michael Bay movies instead of Beast Wars. So, I'm here to pay my dues and review Transformers Legacy Tarantulas. Yes, both of them. The original release of Tarantulas is a pretty neat bot that was so good they released it twice. Right away, he looks as he does in Season 1 of Beast Wars. The 4-pack Tarantulas takes his look from the very first commercial for the Beast Wars toys where he was in vastly different colors, thus giving him the name Prototype Tarantulas. The sculpt on the toy is pretty cool, from the tarantula bits scattered all over his body to the robot bits that blend in thanks to being black plastic. The 4-pack one takes a different approach, having more silver parts, which is a good contrast from the black to give you a different feel. The head sculpts on both figures are great, being a one-to-one to the show model, or mutant mask, and a depiction of the non-mutant mask toy head. Coolest thing on the toy head is that you can see part of the mutant head on the back. The paint on both copies is nice and clean. My favorite areas of application are on both chests, with the standard Tarantulas having the metallic purple giving him a strong sheen, and the prototype Tarantulas with his lighter orange to really make that sculpt pop. The accessories for both are the same, being a crossbow and a saw blade. The crossbow being from the Season 1 version of Tarantulas, and the saw blade from the Transmetal. Third time's the charm, right? Transformers Legacy United Cyberverse Tarn is a repaint of Tarn from Evolution, and United as well, but serves as a great reintroduction to the Decepticon Zealot with his newer, sleeker color scheme taken directly from Transformers Cyberverse. Still haven't seen it. The repaint looks quite good, feeling sleeker than the first release, and it must be the use of black and navy blue as the dominant colors with the little blemishes of purple, red, gold, dark rose metallic, and bloody red. The sculpt is exactly the same as Tarn and Bludgeon of the IDW 1.0 design, but a lot more slimmed down to what was shown in the comics. And the Super 7 toy, where the only reason why you'd even get it is for nickel. The head sculpt is the iconic Decepticon faceplate that symbolizes the ideation of D16 and his rise to power, especially with that light piping of an almost strawberry color. Ooh, could I take that hot to go? I still absolutely wish the red line was lower to his chin, because this is just a fucking Joker, and not even the good one. The accessories are the exact same as Tarn and Bludgeon of being the twin fusion cannon, and yes, even the katana, making this the love child of both bots essentially. Interestingly, one of the barrels of the fusion cannons is in the metallic rose color while the other is in black. I thought it was a mistake, but nope, fully intentional. Now the reason I even wanted this pack to begin with. Transformers Legacy United, Prime Cliffjumper is one of my favorite figures from this year. I'm glad I waited to get this mold till it was a character I actually care for. No shade to Chase, but I like Barricade and Prowl a lot more. Cliffjumper looks almost exactly to how he appeared in Transformers Prime with obvious changes, but we've been down this rabbit hole one too many times and he is definitely the best of the bunch of strictly sticking to the Prime design. Cliff doesn't have much paint besides in the car parts, arms, abdomen, and head because the molded plastic gets the point across very well. The sculpting isn't a whole essay's worth, but what is there is more than enough. The head sculpt is my favorite of the set because it's literally just Cliff's head taken from the show and put on plastic with the additional nose. Remember when people got mad at the Prime figures for having noses? I can just hear Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's voice coming out of this guy, ready to rough and tumble. Just make sure Starscream doesn't join in on the fun and keep a jungle away from this bot. The accessories are a carryover from Chase, but thanks to modularity, you can recreate Cliffjumper's triple-barreled blaster, which just continues to prove that this is a genius repaint. I also love them being a smoky, translucent plastic. Makes up for the lack of light piping. The last but not least is one of the most interesting of the pack, and it's all because of his name alone. Transformers Legacy United Squeezeplay is an extensive retool of Titan's Return Mind Wipe, and you can really tell thanks to mold degradation. Hey, at least it's not his Japanese name of cancer. The toy itself is pretty neat. He's not the greatest, but he is a fun one for sure. All the new parts are appreciated and so crazy to me that you could take a mold and rework it from the ground up like that new Studio Series Beetlebee. The new parts being the knees down, the biceps down, entire torso, and these back struts to mimic the look of the monster legs as a reference to the G1 toy. The head sculpt is nice and another robot of Locos. I did mention he's a headmaster, right? The paint is nicely applied with no real mishaps, but it is quite silly to have a bony white color to give anyone the spooks of yellowing, just like Studio Series TF1 Optimus. Squeezeplay's accessories are this shield mace thingy and a Browning pistol. Megatron's long-lost brother, who will never be a tank because nobody gives a shit about Browning. Alright, so let's do the articulation and transformation for all 4 figures. So we're going to try to speed run through this because it's 4 figures, like I just said. Let's go in random order, so I'm just going to pick from random. Just give me a moment, let's see. I have my eyes closed, by the way, and reaching over all 4 figures. Okay. Looks like I grabbed Cliffjumper first, so let's articulate him. His head's on a ball joint. This is him looking all the way up, which is just straight ahead. Then you can have him look all the way down, so you have him look quite solemn that he's about to die. Spoilers! The arm can rotate around, but gets caught on the exhaust thing here on his backpack. So you can still do it, but not a full 360. You could just do like 180. And then of course the arm hinges out, so you do like a kind of T-pose. And then there's like an inner strut. You can obviously see the arm attached to it, but you can move that around for, I guess, ease of access for the articulation, which is fine. Then you got a bicep swivel. You got a single jointed elbow. Strangely, the hands have articulation. They could go out. Why? I don't know. That's just how he was made. And this has no functionality in the transformation whatsoever. He just has it just to have it, which I guess is neat. Next, you have a full 360 waist swivel. Next, the leg goes all the way up. Like, damn. The leg goes that far back. You can do the full splits, which is great. Got a thigh swivel. You got a 90-degree knee. Then he's got ankle tilts. You can go all the way out the other way, but that's for transformation. But going this way, it's not that deep. So yeah, that's his articulation. Also, since he's got a 360 waist swivel, it's on mushroom peg, so you could make him into a zombie Cliffjumper if you wanted to. See? Just like the show. Spoilers! Alright, so now let's transform Cliffjumper into a car. So you fold out this chest panel, bring the whole entire chest up, so it goes over the head, obviously. Then you can close this panel. Next, we go to the legs. You take the part with the wheel, bring it forward, swing this all down, then go over here, rotate the foot around, make sure you latch it onto this tab. This tab latches into here. So you do that. You can take this little headlight section, you fold it down, then you take the heel and you put it inside the cavity. Once you have both sides done, make sure you bend the knees inward so it looks like his leg is broken. And then you just tab the two sides together. And bada bing bada boom, now you got a front of a car. Next, you swivel the hips all the way around so you get the entire upper half over. Then you can take this little belly section underneath the hood of the car. Then you go to the arms, swivel them around. So what you're going to do is there's a tab right here, and there's a little section right here that is going to latch into here. So you do that like so, and then you're going to see that this tab is going to go behind this little section right here. And then there's a tab in the windshield, not the windshield, the window. Usually a tab section right there. Get in like so. Hold on. Now we do the same thing on the other side. And then once you do that, you can then use these little panels with the exhaust pipes. I'm assuming that's what they are. Tab them in. And bada bing bada boom, now you got Cliffjumper transformed into his muscle car. Might as well go over the weapon storage. So here's his triple barreled cannon. Just put it on top. And that's pretty much it. Okay, so here's this, the claw, everything left of the accessories. So go back to the weapon, take this part off. Now we're just gonna put the claw back together, like so. Then you put that on top, and then the other two sections go into the side. So there's one side, there's the other, and I just have Cliffjumper like Chase. I'm gonna pick from random again, so just circle my hand around all three of the rest of them, just 3 figures. Looks like I grabbed Squeezeplay. So Squeezeplay's articulation. So the head is on a ball joint, but you obviously can't do much because he's a headmaster. So I guess going over Locos, the head's on a ball joint, which could look all the way around. The arms are on a ball joint. I can get the other one. And then the legs are like a hinge and a hinge. Pretty simple. So thus, Squeezeplay doesn't have that much head articulation besides like a tilt. The arms are on a ball joint. Go all the way around because they're on a ball joint and there's no back kibble really intrusive. And there's also a hinge right here, but you don't really have to use that until the transformation, but the choice is yours. Got a bicep swivel, it's really tight. Next you got a double jointed elbow, that's also more so for transformation, but double jointed elbows are always appreciated. There's nothing at the wrist. And then this is where I would complain if I was any other reviewer, but this is a retool for Mind Wipe, so what do you expect? Next you got a waist swivel, 360, no, not intrusive. What the hell? He's like a Matrix on his ass. The leg is that far forward, that far back. You could do more than just a full splits. You can go all the way in. Next you got a thigh swivel. You got a 90-degree knee. And you got ankle tilts that are crazy deep. Of course, the front and back of his feet can move, but that's for transformation. Okay, so Squeezeplay's transformation is the exact same as Mind Wipe. I don't remember if I went over it or not. So let's do it. So first off, we gotta take off Locos. Just have him chill out for a second. Put him right there. So I was about to take him off camera to transform him, but I gotta show you. So let's do some setup first. I like to swivel the arms around, and then you can do the elbow thing. Okay, I'll go to detail over here. So fold away the hand, rotate the arm from the swivel, Then you bend in the arms and tab it in. Now you got the little leggies for Squeezeplay ready to go. And then you take up his chest piece, bring that back, and then you can hinge these down. You take these little sections, fold them around. You could either leave them like this, or you can fold them out like this. I'm going to fold them out like that, just to add more mass to the guy. Okay, so then we go to the legs, hinge them out, fully rotate them the other way, swivel the arms, do the same thing on the other side, then lock in the, if it doesn't already, lock in the ankle tilts. Then you could close the claws either all the way or to whatever position you want them. So I'm gonna do them like this. Oh my god. Okay, something on the other side. Okay, we're almost done. We just gotta do the head now. Now we bring this forward and tab it into the crotch. And there you go. You got Squeezeplay transformed into a whatever it is that he turns into. But we're not quite finished. So you take the shield thing, pour it into the back, take Browning, everyone's favorite transformer, put it on top of the shield thing. Then we get Locos, open this panel, which reveals a seat. You just put Locos in a sitting position and put them inside, close up shop, and there you go. You got Squeezeplay transformed, and it's just mind wipe, but the result is something completely different than a bat. So Tarantulas' articulation is, there's a ball joint in the head. You can kind of look up, you can kind of look down, got kind of tilt, which isn't anything really. The arms are on a hinge, they can go all the way around, thanks to no struts on the back getting in the way. He's got a backwards butterfly, but that's due to transformation. You got a bicep swivel. I was about to call it a thigh. Next you got a, I guess this is technically a wrist swivel. I don't know, or is this a elbow swivel? I don't know. You got a bend at the elbow, 90 degrees. Or is that his hand? I don't know. Next, each spider leg is on a ball joint, so you could realistically have them do anything. But obviously it's restricted to wherever the ball joint can go. Next you got a waist swivel. It doesn't go 360 because the backpack gets in the way, but that's okay. Next, the legs go that far forward. They go that far back, but the backpack does get in the way of that as well, but that's okay. Next you can do the full splits. Next you got a thigh swivel. And you got double jointed knees, which is more so for transformation, but we accept that regardless. The foot can go all the way forward, all the way back, and you got a crazy ankle tilt going this way, and then nothing on the other way. So yeah, that's pretty much it for Tarantulas' articulation. Okay, so now let's transform Tarantulas. So first off, pick up your toy. You're gonna untab the abdomen of the spider out, and then you're gonna swivel so you can bring out the face of the tarantula. Then you're gonna swivel from the chest, only the chest is gonna swivel. So then bring out the tab in the abdomen to the chest of the robot. You can go to the legs. So we're gonna do the double jointed elbow that I just talked about. It tabs in, and then you just want to accordion inside. There's a 5mm port inside, and then of course 5mm hole. So you just put it in there until like it fits. Because I don't know how to explain it. It just fits. It just like fits itself in there. That's the only real way I could really explain it. So then you do it on the other side, and just somehow it's connected. Next, do the backwards butterfly, bring it in, you use the bicep swivel. You're going to tab this into there, this little gap right here, and then there's a little tab thing right there next to the spider head. that's going to tab into this little section. So you do that, you tab it in there, bring this in, you tab it in there. Next, do the same thing on the other side. Backward, make sure you turn the arm around, backwards butterfly, tab it into the back, and then the spider head will tab into right there. And there you go, you got Tarantulas all transformed up into a tarantula. Then you could also like manipulate the spider legs, and that's pretty much it for that. So let's do the weapon storage as well. So you take the crossbow, and you see this little section in between the legs. So that's going to tab into this big little section right here. You bring it in. There you go, tab that crossbow into his butt. And then the saw blade is going to go into this, where the screw hole is. Just going to port that in there. And there you go. All the weapons are stored on Tarantulas. And thus completing Tarantulas' section. So that only leaves Tarn for the articulation and transformation. So the head is on a ball joint. You can look all the way up. You can look all the way down, make him look real menacing. Of course, you got the head tilt, because ball joint. Next, the arms swivel all the way around, nice and tight. The arms hinge all the way out with those trigger-happy hot rod shoulders that a lot of people don't like, but with Tarn, honestly, how else could they have done it? Get a bicep swivel. I completely blanked on the word, but yes, bicep swivel. You got a more than 90 elbow, which is always appreciated. Next, you got a wrist swivel. And on top of that, opening hands. This is probably like one of my favorite inventions from Transformers, dating all the way back to Earthrise Optimus, which is crazy to think because that was already a while ago. Next, you got a waist swivel. Doesn't go 360, it only goes one way or the other because I guess it's just how he's constructed internally. Doesn't allow it. Next, the legs kick all the way forward, all the way back. Tarn can do not the full splits, but good. This is quite far. Next, you got a thigh swivel, which also has stopping points, which is interesting, but I think it's due to the sculpting, this little square part sculpting. Next, you got a more than 90 knee. You could unhinge it here. Well, not unhinge it. You could unclick it from here so that you could have an even deeper. Hold on. So you could have an even deeper bend. Next, the feet can go all the way forward, all the way back, and ankle tilts. It doesn't go out that way. It only goes this way, but not even that deep. But it's also like, it's fine. It doesn't need to go that deep. And yeah, that's pretty much it for Tarn's transformation articulation. We haven't done the transformation yet. He's still a robot. All right, now for the transformation for Tarn. It's been like a year since I reviewed Tarn, so I guess this would be a good refresher as well, besides making it up for the bludgeon video. So first off, what we're gonna do is we're gonna untab the chest from the treads here. Then we're gonna also untab the backpack, swivel it around, bring out these front cannon thingamabobs. Then start moving the head back, but not all the way. Make sure you're gonna slide these out, swivel them back. And as you're doing that, you're gonna move the head all the way back in. Also, make sure you tab in to the chest as you're doing it, so you can bring in the head, and then, hold on. It's like you gotta line it up kind of thing. All right, there we go. So now it's all tabbed in. Next, you can bring these all the way back now. You can bring this forward. So next, straighten the feet out. So hinge them all the way back and click it here and there. Make sure you fold it in all the way. There you go, like that, like that. Then you can tab these together, tab them together like that. Now make sure also the thighs are straightened out. So next you're gonna port this back piece because there's a little port here and then, or port here and then, you know. So then you just port it into the stand port. There you go, it covers the head. So next you're gonna turn the arms around like this. Make sure they're straightened out, fold out this panel. Then you see this little section right here. You're gonna both swivel it or hinge it and then tab it in there. Or the way how I word things is so weird. So swivel the arm around, then hinge both the elbow and this bicep at the same time. Pull out this panel. Then you can bring the feet and the legs all the way down, tab it in, and we're not quite done yet. I was about to say we were, but we're not. Open this panel, then tab it, straighten it out until it tabs into there. Then you fold this panel back under. It's the same thing on this side. Open, tab it, straighten it out, tab it in, and put it down and down. And there you go. Now you got Tarn all transformed up into his tank mode. But we're not quite finished because don't forget about that weapon storage. So here's the twin fusion cannon. Swirl this around. See these tabs? Put them in there. Tab it in. Bada bing, bada boom. Now you got the twin fusion cannon, but we're not quite finished just yet because now we have the katana. Just put it in. Actually, you can put it wherever you want. I just put it there because I can. Tarn's transformation, it's still very nice to do, even owning it 3 times. Ooh. That's a fun sound. And that concludes the transformations and articulation for the Cliffjumper versus Tarantulas versus Squeezeplay versus Tarn. I almost forgot who's in the set, even though they're right in front of me. Tarantulas' tarantula mode is pretty close to an actual tarantula in the flavors of purple and black, or orange and silver. The mandibles are my favorite parts, with the paint of being fully encompassed in orange paint or metallic with the lime green tips. Tarn's Cybertronian tank mode is the same as Legacy Evo Tarn and Bludgeon, and how does he compare between them? I think I still prefer Legacy Evo Tarn's tank mode because between the 3, he has the better color separation. United Tarn has good color separation too, but the purple of the feet detracts from being fully consistent. Cliffjumper's car mode is the sleek muscle car we've come to know from Prime Cliffjumper. He's an almost one-to-one replication to the original car and really shows how he was destined for this mold even when it was only chase. Squeezeplay's monster mode is something. Being the most unique alternate mode of the set is a compliment in itself because it's not as straightforward and you can come to your own conclusions on what he is. To me, he transforms into a walking hybrid of a crab and a cobra. He also has a dinky little tail and feels more cutesy than scary to me. So that's the Transformers Legacy United, Cliffjumper vs. Tarantulas, Squeezeplay, and Tarn. This pack is an interesting one, including 2 desirable characters, a deep cut repaint, and a fully obscure character. I don't think there's anything I would personally change because as it stands, it just makes sense being loosely Halloween themed with Cliffjumper, who was once a zombie, Tarantulas in the gaudy Halloween colors, Tarn as a character being a mass genocidal Decepticon zealot, and Squeezeplay being an indistinct creature that reminds me of the Metaluna mutant. I wonder if they'll keep doing these 4 packs into Age of the Primes and beyond, because these packs are a good bang for your buck if you want some bots or don't know what to get a kid that likes Transformers. Anyways, that's the final video of October in the books, thus concluding the creative exercise. I'll see you in the next video, whatever and whenever it may be, because as I've been saying, making videos is an interesting hobby. Have a wonderful Halloween, check your candy to make sure there's no razor blades in them, and I will see you next month with not so scary videos. So long, and good night.